Just watching time and chat. Okay, sounds good, bud. Alrighty, people. So we're gonna finish up today with another stream of Game of Thrones. Here, we're gonna start from the very, very beginning this time. So if you were to make a new account, which if you want to help out the stream, you could do it through the link in chat. It's also down in my bio. But we're going to go from the very, very beginning, like I said. So if you just started an account, this is what you're going to do to get your account going. You're going to see everything that you would see for your first probably, I'm going to try to do about 2 hours here, so we'll see how this goes. For the first little bit about what to build, what buildings to focus on, what the weirwood tree is going to be, which is where you get all of your basically free-to-play commanders, because this game is pay to win. But you can have some serious fun on this game by spending very little or staying strictly free to play. So here we go. So the first little bit, you would literally just go through all the clicky. You either have deep pockets or patience. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, there's accounts in this game that, I mean, they gotta have at least a couple 100,000 in their account. I just don't know where people get their money, but hey, each their own, right? So you basically just follow the little hand. It'll take you through building troops, doing the first couple of fights, and then it kind of gets into where you can kind of do your own. You do want to make sure that you're reading what it's telling you, though, if you're new to these types of games or even this particular game in general, because it'll really set the stage for the future, like what's to come. Actually, before we get going here, let me do this for you, Maxi. We get you a shout out. And I'm going to see if this works. This should work. Yeah, okay, it works. So that link right there is for the new people in the view that if you want to help out the stream, you want to try out the game, that'll be a link to get you going. And if you do want to play and you want to get into it and you want to join an alliance, all that, just let me know. We'll hook you up, get you set up. Now, there should be some music and sound here, but for some reason, it's not. Do I have it turned off? Oh, I can't click it yet. Hey, what's up, Jovi? Not much. We just going through the beginning aspects here for new players. Starting from the very, very, very beginning. Collect all the free stuff down here. All right, so we go here. The story quest is going to be exactly what you. The audio picking up? Hmm. Okay. So the story quest on the side will be what you really want to focus on. It'll walk you through the first little bit that you really need to focus on. Yeah, I'm not sure why the game audio is not picking up. I mean, it's through their GT Arcade app, so it's a little tweaky, I guess would be the word. But hmm. Okay, well, we'll just go with it. You guys can still see what I'm doing, and at least you won't have any problems hearing my voice to explain stuff. So we'll just kind of is what it is, I guess. Mr. Vetties. Okay, and since the sound isn't working, I'll turn this once they stop talking. And this is what I was referring to about pay to win. So every day this changes at reset. Different stuff you could buy. So for 50 black diamonds is basically $5. This would be a $20 pack, for example, 200. But you can get just about anything you need to do to your account what you would want to do to your account. But since it's not working, I will turn this down so it doesn't blow my ears out. And we will continue with chapter 2. We got our castle. We need to build. Oh, leveled. Level 2. We need to build 80 tier 1 troops. So we're going to go to the barracks for that. We can upgrade that. Go in here. I like to build bow to start off. I'll get into the troops here in a little bit. The easiest free to play account is either infantry or spear, and they're also the spears being the easiest to upgrade because you could do it for pretty cheap. But we're going to go bow for this video just because it's one of the stronger starting troop types. We got some troops built. We upgraded our barracks. We got to attack the Grim Force outpost. He wasn't ignoring you, he just typed slow. There's a difference. And as you can see, we beat that. Now we unlock spots where we, oh, maybe not. We gotta go back here, collect our stuff, heal the wounded, which we have to build a hospital first. Now we can heal our wounded. Alrighty. Chapter 2 is done. In 30 minutes, we will have our dragon. Chapter 3. So we got to do one commander at a higher level than 5, and clear stage 3 is the weirwood. And we got to build 80 more troops, or light cavalry troops to be exact. And then we got to take back the Grim Fort. Okay, so we'll start with the weirwood. Oh, can I actually join the alliance that's over here now? Oh, okay. I gotta wait for acceptance. So we will go to the commander. So, which by this, if you don't know and you're just starting off, you can actually hit go and it will take you to certain areas. See how you get the little hand? It'll walk you through on where to go. Now, there is ways you could do this manually. As you get higher, you can speed this up and even turn on auto, but it'll walk you through all of that. This is actually one of the more fun things to do in the beginning of an account. Oh, we've unlocked Haley. Cool. We gotta level up Chris here. And if you notice, Sheila's skill there is more of like an artillery bomb. I'd accept you in, but the all-powerful Scrunchy has not blessed me with that ability. And we have now unlocked Rob Stark. Oh, it won't let me unlock it. Okay. We have to promote. And once again, if you follow the hand, it'll kind of lead you around where you need to go until you get the hang of it. Eventually, it becomes like muscle memory. And as long as you have the stuff to level up, you can level them up individually by clicking the plus sign and doing that. Or if you have enough of the medals from doing the weirwood tree, you can just click the promotion button and it'll do it all for you. Just kind of a quicker way, which I will show you where that's at here. So this chest, when you go to weirwood, as time goes on, you'll see here you get +1 by every 5 minutes. This will fill up and you can just hit claim. But for those starting out, each of these have a stage, and there's a lot of stages. You can literally click on one, and you see as you level up the stage, it increases your auto. But you can literally go stage to stage. Now, how you have the squares right here. Generally, what I usually do, sometimes this will change depending on what's on this side, but you want your range, which is usually your spear or your archers, in the back. You also want your infantry or cav usually in the front. But if you notice something here, you'll see how there's infantry and spear, which is the red shield and the green icon here. If we were to switch these and put Rob in the center, you'll notice it now turns red. So one of the biggest keys to this, especially when you're starting out, is everything has a counter. And it's also very realistic in that aspect where infantry is your counter to spear. Spear is your counter to cav. Spear is also good versus bow. And cav is your counter to infantry, much like real combat. And now we can also auto it. So we can click this button to turn it on auto, and the ×2 button to actually speed it up. The man sounding like an audiobook about to make me drowsy. It's time to go to sleep, Max. Are you ready to count sheep? And see what I just explained, now it's actually going to explain to you by text. Yeah, no, I'm not going to be that mean. All right, so let's continue our chapter 3 here. We did the commander, we did the weirwood. We need to recruit 80 light cavalry. So we go back to the barracks. Light cavalry, 80, train. We'll speed it up so we don't got to wait the 10 minutes. Collect that, and then let's go fight the Grim Fort. As you see, we opened up a spot out here, so now we can build these 3 buildings. And this right here is really important for new accounts. These first 7 days, Arya is one of the better free-to-play commanders in the game. So you want to do everything in your power to fill this bar out to get her. You can there's even a few paid ones that will increase how many tokens you get of her. But you really want to focus on this. We'll head to chapter 4. We already cleared stage 4. We'll get back to that. So the plots over here. Later in the game, as you get bigger, you won't need a lot of this stuff. And you can kind of just fill, if you're a big fighter, you can literally just build nothing but hospitals. But since we're new and starting out, we're going to build a mint, which is going to give us training speed as well as gold dragons. But something that it doesn't really tell you in the game here, I'm going to go over real quick. For each building in the game, if you hit a question mark, it'll give you this kind of chart here, right? Level is the level of the building. This goes up with the big castle, your main castle. So the higher your castle is, the higher level all the other buildings can go up. And it'll tell you how many gold dragon produce. It'll show you the limit. And it'll give you the training speed percentages. You also have an additional effect for each mint that you have in your castle. At 25, for each one that you have built and leveled to 25, you're going to get 2%. So you have what? 3, you have 7. So if you put all mints here, all had them 25, you'd have a lot of total attack. And I believe this one over here is more mints. So I believe it's something like 65% total if you have all mints at 25. But as you see, our castle's only 4, so we can't do that yet because we're still growing. So we're only going to build one of those. And then the army tent, if we do the same thing with the question mark, it increases your single training quantity. So right now, as you've seen earlier, we're only able to build 80 troops. So if we build just a level 1, we get an extra 40 troops per train. And once again, additional effects. If you're like a tanky castle, the level of your army tent will give you a total defense. Now, what I'm meaning by the total defense stat here is each troop has its own percentage. We go... Oh, it didn't give us one. Okay. We'll collect all this stuff real quick. So if we go here, click on our profile, we go to details. Now this isn't 100% correct because there's a lot of factors that go in here. But this will give you all of the percentages of your character. And if we scroll down, you'll see training speed. And then here's your army bonus. See, each troop, each defense, each fortification, everything, all has its own percentage. Now, the totals, that affects everything. It's not a troop or a type specific, it's everything. That's where these buildings come into play. Depending on how you want to play your castle, the total defense could be really good. Same with the total attack. Now, for the hospital, same thing. If you click the question mark, each level increases how many troops, wounded wise, will go into your hospital. And then it explains up at the top about 60% chance to go to the hospital. And once they get 25, you get 5% total health per hospital. That's why most people, if you're going to be a major fighter, will have nothing but hospitals. In every spot that you could put a hospital is going to be a hospital 25. But we go back to our chapter here. We got to get the castle to level 5. We got everything there to do that, so we'll just go ahead and upgrade it. Oh, we unlocked our research facility, our Maester Tower. We'll go ahead and build that because we're going to need that for the next chapter. We got to build 80 more troops. So you see now how it's 160. It was 80 earlier. Now we've already bumped it. We've doubled it already. Let's build 2 of those. And we'll put that one back on. We're going to need the troops later anyway. Accept that. Go into our research facility. They want us to build our building speed, so we'll get that done there. While we're here, we're also going to increase the farming mastery. Might as well do these while we're in here too, because we'll have to come back in here anyway. It's just kind of a way of skipping ahead without skipping ahead. And as you see, all of these increases your production, which I'll show you that in a second here. We close that out. So just how we had the army tent, the mint, and the hospital, we have a quarry, which is your stone, your mine, which is your iron, your lumber, which is your wood, and then the farmland, which is your grain. So if we click the question mark again, you'll see what you get per level. So that percentage from that research affects this number. And then if you have more farms or more irons, this number goes up. So obviously your percentage goes up. And we can free upgrade these to our castle level, which is 5. We'll do this also over here for what we built over here. Oh, and as you see, we need more grain. We should have grain in pack. If you highlight up here, you'll see how it says hourly production and then total grain items. The total grain items is where this plus sign comes into play. So we can click this and we could get grain to finish our building. Now, as you complete quests, you can go out of the map and gather stuff that increases those materials so you can, build more stuff, obviously. Oh, we need more grain. We get all of it? Okay. And we're going to put another iron mine down here. We'll level that up. Okay. Back to our chapter. Collect that. Now we got to go to Ironstone Outpost. So we can click go. Takes us over here. And we got to scout and attack again. Accept that. Oh, her surgery is done? So everything went okay then? She's in recovery, I take it. We start chapter 5 here. And I'm actually going to show you something here because it says take back Ironstone, right? So we're going to go back. We're going to do this in reverse. I don't know the tone. Okay. Yeah. If they didn't say anything bad, then everything went fine. She's probably in recovery. They'll bring you back. We'll do that fight. Now here's something that's really cool. Way back. Okay, Max. If we click the play button in the center, we can actually watch the fight happen. Maybe. There we go. Now, this right here is what's commonly, I mean, most people call it a morale bar. I actually call it the morale clock because there's actually how they do this in here in this particular game used to be different, but nowadays they have a thing called turns. So I refer to the morale as the morale clock. You can see your commanders down here. This is their troops, their wall, all that up here. But you can actually watch this, which is actually kind of cool sometimes, especially on the bigger battles. Kind of looks like something out of the Total War series or like Warhammer. But you can't really control it, but you can still watch it. That's what it reminds me of. And see, this is where it gets tricky too, especially on the bigger battles, which I have to explain to some of my guys when they ask because they don't understand it sometimes. So they had a total soldiers of 700. We killed 543. There was 157 survived. Like we didn't kill everybody in there. But the way that morale clock worked, if you kind of follow me along with that, I'm sorry. I know a lot of people call it just the morale bar, but as I said, I call it the morale clock. So if you follow the morale clock, you see that it hit 0 up top. And it hit 0 before we killed every single enemy troop. But they do everything by math in this game. It's all about ratios, percentages, all that jazz. So because of what we killed, they reached 0 before we did. Even though we didn't kill everything. So you don't have to completely wipe the line to win a fight. You just have to kill more than they kill of you. And sometimes this will be a little construed depending on the tier of troop that you're making or fighting, because each tier affects that morale clock more than the other. So it's kind of the game within the game. But that is a lot more advanced than what we are doing today. I just wanted to give you kind of a heads up of later in the game of kind of how the fighting works. So we're going to go back to what chapter 5. So we're going to complete stage 9 of the Weirwood. So we go back in here. We let's see. And remember, when you're doing the Weirwood, you see how they're red. You want to try to make them green. Sometimes it'll be hard to get, all 3 lines green, but you want to try if you can. Sometimes it doesn't matter. Most of the time it does matter. Um, okay, so the game just like okay, well, this is the world map. And as you see, the game's not perfect because it just glitched out on me. But we're going to go into the city and go back to what we were just doing. Back into the Weirwood. Okay, so everything's green. We're good to go into battle. And it did it again to me. Really? Yeah, no, the Nightwalkers are coming up there. Because when we made the new character here, we're on a newer server, so it's going through its whole progressions on a server because there's actually server events that happen. And that's what's going on here. But we'll try it a third time. And it's going to do it again. Seriously. Good job, Gabe. Let me read the next letter. So those of you that have actually watched the show, White Walkers are about to break the northern wall, move down to try to kill the land of the living. We can actually go up and fight them. I mean, it'll be really hard at, these tiny of accounts, but you can still go fight them. And that's what this is explaining here. And then this talks about the Masters, the Old Town, how they found, what is it, the dragon glass to make the daggers and stuff. All right, let's see if we can do the Weirwood now that we read all their letters. Well, we'll put that back on auto because, yes, I'm lazy. Now, some of these fights later on, you don't really want to do it on auto because you have to target certain people of the other team because they get really challenging. But on these lower levels, it's just as easy to hit auto. And you'll see how it pops up and it says what Simon Blackmere does. We'll go to the next stage because I think we had to get to 9, I think it said. Actually, let me back out here to make sure. I believe that said 9. Yeah, complete stage 9. No, we're still green. Okay. And if you notice, we have that morale clock up here on top too, just like we did when we watched the fight video. Now, in here, that morale clock works differently because you have to kill all of the enemy, but you can still see it. And then you can see damage details, see the percentages. Like I said, this game's really math heavy on the back end. And this game has been out, I want to say, for probably close to 6 years now. And they have adjusted that math and added new things and changed the way combat works numerous times to keep the game engaging for newer players as well as the older players. But if you're good with numbers, you can easily figure it out and stay up with it as long as you read the patch notes and, you know, such like that. And it looks like we may lose. I may have to upgrade these commanders a little bit. Yep. Egbert just killed us all. And as you see here, it'll tell you why you got defeated. So you can change the deployed combinations, which is where you position the commanders in those lines. You can enhance commanders, which is, you know, leveling them up, or you can manually use the skills to, you know, try to gain an advantage. But I already know why we lost, because as you get higher in there, you need higher level commanders. Levels matter a lot. And Sansa here also provides a heal for us. She's our healer. But we will try to get some of these a little higher here. We'll do it the quick and easy way here. And just do the commander promotion. Okay, we're all level 10. We should be able to beat Egbert now. And we have our healer that we didn't have a second ago. So we're actually going to keep Sheila lined up with him, which is the middle row. And we're going to put Sansa actually behind Chris on the top. Egbert still hurts, but we are going to win because Sansa just healed everybody. Next, we will hit return, close the weirwood out, back to our chapter. Upgrade the castle to level 6. Okay, here we go. So when you go to level your castle, you have to have other buildings at certain levels before you can do your castle. Everything's chained together. And then we'll speed that up. And as you see, when you upgrade it, it also tells you what you have as well. Army size is how many troops you can march when you actually do a offensive measure. Help limits are when you're in an alliance. If somebody's building something, researching something, you can click the help button and it'll actually decrease their timer so that they don't have to use as many speed ups to get it done. That's the benefit of being in an alliance. Which I can't join right now because my girl's at work and I don't have her logs to the account. So, and we go 120 first tier soldiers. And that's what that was for, which was the build that we put up earlier. And as you see, now we're up to 400. When we started at 80, then we went to 160. Now we're at 400. So how many troops we can make at a time are starting to tick up. And then we take back. Oh, we leveled again. Take back Ironstone. And this is what I was referring to by each area you unlock allows you to build more of the other buildings. And when I'm starting out on a new account, I actually build a little bit of everything. Because you can always destroy these and rebuild it however you choose to play. But for now, we need the resources to get buildings done, so we're just going to, like I said, build a little everything. And when you click on an empty square, it'll actually show you how many of each that you have built on your castle. So as you see, lumber is 3, quarry is 3, mine is 2, and farm is 2. So we're going to build another mine. And we might as well fill these in too. Same thing. You can see it says we have 1 mint, 2 hospitals, and 2 army tents. So we're going to build another mint so we have gold to build buildings. I'm going to build another army tent to increase how many troops we can build at a time. Now, earlier I showed you that you can hit the plus sign and you can use quick use to get the resources. But when you have multiple reds in here, meaning that you have to go and take out of your packs up at the top, you can hit upgrade. Now, you can buy resources, which is not recommended by any means of the imagination. That's just a waste of money. But it'll show you the required resources here. These right here where it says 1 of 67 and 1 of 110. This is, so you're going to use 1 pack, which is the 1. The bigger number is how many packs you have in your inventory. If you do not have these, it'll give you a blue diamond number, which is this number up here. Blue diamonds you can earn in the game. It's free currency. But it'll give you a number here to buy that particular amount of resources. And then it'll either give you a confirm button or it'll give you another button here for blue diamonds that you can auto build that building. But since we have plenty enough resources, and we have our castle up high enough where we get free building, we're just going to do that for now. We will build another mint. All right, we'll complete our chapter. We get more Chris medals, which we might be able to. Yes, we do. So you can also, instead of leveling them, the more medals you get, you can increase their quality. So now Chris is green. This goes all the way up to gold. And each level up requires a different amount of medals, obviously. But this increases their strength, all their stats, which you can see here. It's just a good thing to do, especially for the ones you're going to be using in combat. So down here we have our daily quests, which is under quest. You have daily activity, which are all sorts of things that you can get free stuff if you do it each and every day, which most accounts that takes you about 30 minutes to do all of your dailies. And for younger accounts, it is really advisable to try to do that each day. Under main quests, this is all the stuff that we've been doing for our chapters. This will also give you a big XP boost to your Lord, which lets you increase your commander levels and all sorts of stuff. So we will just go through here and collect all of these. And as you notice, it'll give you rewards, which is increasing our resources so that we can finish off some of these chapters. So we'll just spam this here to speed up the process. And yeah, we did a lot of quests. Whoop. We'll just go and get everything to 6 here. So that everything is the same level as our castle. And we're all 6 in that block. We're all 6 in that block. And okay, we got 4 here to do. We're 6 there. Oh, this is 2, 5, 6. This is going over the city defender. So if somebody was to attack your castle, this is what this does. So as we get our dragons, they'll fill out here, which you can put skills and stats and all that on the dragons. This right here will be your commanders that'll control your troops and give them the most stats when somebody hits your castle. You got the durability of it. So down here is also your defense. And this is what I was referring to about everything has its counter. As you see the circle down here. Bow is the only thing that doesn't have a natural counter, though spear generally tends to be better than the others fighting bow. From experience, anyway. And as you unlock these in the research, you can set up, different lineups for different troops. But like I said, that's way later down the trail. That's just giving you kind of a heads up of how, let's just say, sophisticated this game can get in certain areas. It's a pretty steep learning curve, I'm not going to lie, especially for people that have not played these types of games. But if you're able to get into an alliance with some experienced people, and if you kind of read around and kind of follow what they're telling you, the game tells you a lot of the stuff. There's a lot that it doesn't tell you, but oh, I don't want that. Oh, that's the Sansa. But it will walk you through a big chunk of it. Okay, we are on chapter 6 now. So we got to get the castle to level 7. And because we put everything at level 6 already, we are already ready to go. So we just hit upgrade, speed that up. Our castle is now 7. Next, we got to... Oh, we leveled up again. Next, we have to train 300 tier 1 troops. So we go back to the barracks. We already have a training going. That is building 400. So if we speed this up, that'll complete our quest. And see, now we're up to 880 troops that we can build per mark. So we'll just go ahead and put that on. We'll go back to our chapter, accept it. And now we have to attack the Deerwood outpost. So it's over here in the corner. There we go, heal troops because we lost some in that. And we will try it again. And as you notice there, army size matters in this game. More troops you send, obviously, the better chances you have of winning. Okay, we got to clear stage 18. So back to the Weirwood. And as you see, we're on stage 10, so we have 8 stages to clear. So let's see how far we can get before we have to upgrade. So see, we're back to being red because the spear is now on the bottom because the enemy formation has changed for this stage. So we have to change Rob with Chris because Rob is Cav. Cav is good against infantry. Chris is infantry, which is good against spear. Going back to that circle of counters there. And then we'll move Sansa behind Chris. And the reason why I'm doing this is, you see, Rob has 586 for a defense. Chris has 616 for a defense. He also has more health, as Rob has 3.5, Chris has 3.6. So Sansa being our healer, you want to protect her, so we put her behind the person that has the most defense and the most health. Go to the next stage. I think they actually got to Sansa that time. All right, and I think I said we had to get to stage 18, if I remember correctly. All right, we got 2 more stages to go. As you can see, as we're winning these stages, we are getting Commander XP as well, so they are leveling a little bit. Excuse me. But sometimes you will have to go back into that Commander button and either promote them or increase their levels by that plus sign. But as of right now, we're doing pretty good, so we'll keep the train rolling here. 17. So if we beat this one, we should complete our chapter objective. All right, so we will return, close out Weirwood. We have completed what is it, chapter 6. Okay, so we got to increase the castle to level 8. We need our wall and our Maester Tower. So that is 7. And yeah, the wall. Okay. We already have our mine level 6 from what we did earlier. We just need to upgrade it once, and then we can do our wall. And just as we did earlier, we're going to go through and make all these. Well, actually, before I do that, because castle is going to be 8 in a second, we'll just go ahead and bump this castle to 8. Now we'll go back through down here, as we did earlier, and we'll put everything to 8 ahead of time so that we're ready for the next chapter. And we need the resources anyway, so 2 birds, 1 stone. And these right here that are locked is this day of trade event right here. Throughout the month, and they recycle each month, you'll get different events that pop up. And that is just happens to be one of the monthly events. And it's giving us free stuff here. And wanting us to spend money as well, which we're not doing. This is the tedious process, though. This is the not very fun part of the game, but very necessary, as it pays dividends later on. All right, everything's 8, 8. Okay, 1 more block to go. I think we got. Did we not completely take that last time? Oh, okay. They're defeated already. Okay. 8-8. Excuse me. Let's get the wall to 8. And then we'll get the hospital to 8. We'll just work our way building to building. So I don't know if I touched this building right here, but the warehouse is also pretty important too. Once again, if we hit the question mark. So you'll see the limit number here. And as you go up, it goes all the way up to, 2.5. So since it's basically a player versus player game, once again, going back to, these type of games, like an Ebony or a Game of War, I mean, there's billions of these type of games out on the market. This is the amount of resources that you can have in your castle per type and not have to worry about it being plundered if somebody hits your castle. Anything over 2.5 million, and they can. So let's say you have 5 million grain and you have your warehouse at 25. They can steal 2.5 million, but you will still keep the other 2.5 million. And at level 25 is the only way to protect your gold. So your gold is always plunderable until you get everything to 25. So you want to make sure that you're either sending it to an alliance member, because there's sometimes alliance accounts that are used as a bank, or spending it as fast as you get it to keep it from, being in your castle, unless you plan on being on daily to make sure that your bubble never drops, which is your castle shield. Collect all of our quests to get resources back. And that's probably gonna, probably level us again. And we'll go in here into the talents now that we have some points. So the right side here, once again, the army attack is going to be total attack percentage, as well as you have troop training speeds, your infantry, your fortification, the bow defense, or the army defense rather, and army health are total percentages. So it affects your whole army, not a specific troop. But on the right side here, we have production talents. And you'll see you have production talents as well as construction speed, research speed, gold dragons, which is your gold, obviously. You army carrying capacity from if you go and hit somebody or hit something or even go out and gather. This is how much you can bring back to your castle. But since we have 23 points, and because we're building a lot, we're going to max out our construction and our research. And what that does is that limits the amount of speed ups that we have to use. And if we go back to our chapter, we have to train 500 T1 troops. And a lot of the time you'll hear T for T1, T2. All that is tier. It's just, sorry, it's habit. But you also see we're up to 1,440 now as well, when we originally started at 80. So we'll build a couple of these and then put another one on to build. Collect that. take back Deerwood. Which I'm not sure what's going on with that. Okay. We'll come back to that. Game's being a little buggy this morning. So we got to clear stage 29. So we'll go back to the Weirwood. We are on stage 19. So before we do that, oh, also you could do this too. So there's a shop. So if you see these little things here, the Weirwood tokens, you can use these in the shop to buy your free to play commanders. It's an easy way to get their levels up, like we did Chris earlier from white to green. And they unlock at certain stages. Now, if you remember earlier, I said there was a boatload of stages. See, stage 306. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the Weirwood. But, well, we're going to go back in here and we are going to level up some of these commanders to 15. Oh, we don't have enough. Okay, well, at least we did our healer. We will do it the other way because we do not have enough to promote these. You did it. You cleared 15. Way to go, Jovi. Way to go. How'd you end up getting it done? Did you have to upgrade commanders or just like change them up? Like the formations? Both? Okay. Yeah, Kevin is a Kevin's fun. Oh, I see. Okay, so let's do this. Yeah, Kevin's even a pain when you're fighting him, like player versus player wise. Kevin's strong. I think they added him to the recruitment pass, though. If you get the recruitment pass each month, I think you can get him. Which the recruitment pass for you new guys is basically $20 a month, and you can get a lot of the. I don't even know if you'd really call them mid tier because I'm just going to use the term mid tier. So you can get a lot of your good combat commanders for PvP wise, and to get them maxed out, you're looking at probably about 6 to 8 months. If all you did was spend that $20 a month, and you'll get a lot of the paid stuff that way. Okay, we can't do that yet. We need another commander. Oh, we got the shelter here. So this shelter right here is if you're getting attacked and you know you can't win, say a player is attacking your castle, you can put your lord. You want to put 12 hours. And since we only have this many, we're just going to do auto select. But say you were a bow. You wanted to keep all your bow. You put all your bow in here. You can put 29,200 troops. And you can select your time. I usually just do 12 hours by habit. All your bow plus your lord will be in here. So if somebody hits you, they're only killing the troops that you didn't want to protect. You always want to protect your lord, because without your lord, you lose all of your extra stats from your gear, I don't know, refinement, castle, a lot of stuff. And if you hit confirm, you'll see taking refuge for 12 hours. Lord accompanies the troop. And you'll see how many troops you have in here. So chapter goal met. Chapter 16 is all about getting level 25 and building all the other stuff. Yeah, and that takes a lot of blue diamonds. That takes a while. Oh, we got our dragon. We get to watch the little baby dragon hatch, guys. Aw, it didn't show us him hatching. He's already hatched. That's not fair. Isn't he so cute? Until he chomps your fingers off. Okay, just growing 22 hours. So this tab right here, the events, this gives you a calendar for what's coming up. And you can also get into the ones that are actually active right now. And you can see the rewards and what you have to do to get points. Just trying to see if there's anything we missed here. Actually, I'm going to refresh this real quick. See if we can't get that thing to open up. See if it fixes the little quirks that we've been having. There we go. Now we can actually attack these guys. Oh, we need to heal. We need more troops. Let's go ahead and build some here real quick. And then we'll put another one to build, so for the next chapter. Okay. There we go. Build this to 8. Let's try this again. Okay. So we need stuff to upgrade. So let's do a couple of blitzes here. We'll waste one of our refills. All right, we got them all promoted up as much as we can, which the promotion basically just makes them stronger. It doesn't change their level, but it just makes them stronger. Let's see how we go now. And that helped. We got it that time. All right, we'll go to the next stage here. 'Cause we got to get all the way to like, I think I said 29. Ooh, we get to automatically challenge the next level, so you don't have to hit the button. You can be super lazy. Part of the reason they did that too is, say you're working from home, say you're at work and it's on a laptop, because you can play this also on a browser. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the GT Arcade app, which is just a piece of software down on your computer. They made it where you could passively play a lot of the smaller aspects of this game while you're doing other things in life. That's something that I really like. It's something that the other game some of you may have seen me play in Raid Shadow Legends does. It makes these monotonous kind of browser games a lot more enjoyable, in my opinion. It's nice little touches because you can get things accomplished by just letting it run in the background while you're doing other things. Oh, we just got our butts kicked. Okay, so let's see what happened here. Hmm. All right, I got about another 15, 20 minutes in this stream here, and then I gotta go because I gotta take my truck in for an oil change. Should give me enough time to, yeah, should be enough time to get there. Not cutting it too close. You gotta see the foot dock. Oh, 130. Yeah. Yeah, I got a oil change at 1. Like 11:30 right now. That's the dude right there that I hate playing right there is Kravis. I know you mentioned Kevin earlier, but Kravis is another one that really sucks. He a tough cookie. And his skill that he throws down is crazy. Because it's an area wide, like stun and silence. Yeah, exactly. It's great when it's on your side. Exactly. It's not so great when you got to fight it. Because you don't even get to buy Kravis until like way late. Like, because he doesn't open up in the Weirwood shop until late. I want to say it's like 40 or so. I can check in a second, but they're literally dog pile just to kill him. Let's see when does Kravis open up? Oh boy, was I wrong. Wow. Kravis doesn't even open until 189. Stage 189. Holy. Okay. That yeah. It's a little ways away, to say the least. 114 clears or chapter 50. Yeah. I think I'm still on. I think this is chapter 8. Yeah, because I mean, if you're trying to do all the chapters in a day, well, I mean, obviously chapter 16 you won't be able to get in a day unless you're spending money because you need all those blue diamonds to get the buildings upgraded. But if you're going from chapter 0 to chapter 15, I would venture to say if you're not spending money, you're probably looking about at 8 to 9 hours in game. Alrighty, one more level here. Let's see if we can do it. Yeah, exactly, and that's burning through speed ups. But I mean, if you're spending money though, if somebody came in and money isn't an option type thing, and they're just dropping, a couple $100 to get going, that speeds up drastically. I mean, 99% of your players aren't going to do that, but you could probably get it done in a couple hours if you're spending money. Not to mention the benefits that you're getting from everything else that's coming through it. But if you're completely free to play, you're looking at somewhere between 8 to 10 hours. And that's using all of the resources and speed ups and rewards and all that that the game gives you without spending money. Because it is possible, it just takes you longer. You can even compete to a certain degree in this game from a long term perspective as a free to play player, but it just takes you longer to get anything because you're at the mercy of the game. There, we got 2 new buildings. So we're going to build these to level 9 and then go back through and build everything else to level 9. And to Jovian's point there of being on the chapter 16 of getting your castle 25, you will see here in a second when we get back to it once I get all the resources here to 9. You'll see what I'm talking about when I was saying that you'd need a boatload of blue diamond. And like I said, blue diamonds are kind of they do give them to you in the game. You can buy them as well, but you do get quite a bit in the game if you hoard them basically and don't go crazy. And you do all of the in-game events and quests, those blue diamonds do stack pretty quickly. However, they go just as fast as you get them. It's the catch 22. But you can get quite a bit of blue diamonds. Like they have a fishing event in the game here that if you're diligent with it over the 5 days, you can come out with a couple 100K in blue diamond. Just from that one event alone, for, as an example. There, we got all the blocks. 9. Yep, okay. Oh, we'll get that one. Collect our quests. And then we'll go back to our embassy and see about getting this to 9. And then we'll get our other castles to 9 as well, before showing you what was just talking about with the blue diamonds. So bear with me 1 second to get the rest of these. And once again, just as earlier, going back through getting them to level 9, you don't have to do it this way. It's just my preferred way of doing it because it gets you ahead of the curve and helps you with the future chapters. And I mean, you got to upgrade these things anyway eventually. It's just my personal way of doing it. Okay, so the 2 new buildings we unlocked at Castle Level 9 was the Embassy and the Bannerman Hall. So the Embassy is how many reinforcements people can send to you. So if you're getting attacked, there's 2 ways that an Alliance member can help protect you. They can either send you reinforcements, which at Castle 25, I mean, you can have 1,000,000 troops. Somebody can send you 1,000,000 troops, or multiple people can send you 100,000 troops, which is ideally the better way to do it. Or people can garrison you. It's the 2 ways, but that's what this building does. It also gives you total health when you put stars on it, but that's way down the road. For right now, we're going to focus on just how much the reinforcements work. So, you have to have this at a certain level to upgrade the Bannerman Hall to a certain level. Now, the Bannerman Hall, it is your rally size expansion. So, this is big, but it's bigger for people that are going to be fighting a lot. There's a lot of things that affect this as well besides the Bannerman Hall. But the Bannerman Hall, you have to have 25 to get the Castle 25. So, might as well upgrade it anyway. But, as you notice, right after the first level, for level 2, you need 1 of the battle codexes. And you go in here to the shop, and you see a blue diamond cost. And over here, you see how many battle codexes you get. So, for demonstration purposes here, we're going to spend the 1,500 blue diamonds, and we're going to buy 100 of them. So, now we have 100. To go to level 2, we need 1 of them. Level 3 is 1, 4 is 1, 5 is 1. Whoop. 6 is 2 of them. 7 is 2. 8 is 2. Then it goes 9 is 4 of them. As you go up, this number goes up. And it is a lot of blue diamonds once you get into like the level 20s. I actually have a chart of it somewhere. But to get the Bannerman Hall and the dungeon and the Hall of Faces over here work the same as the Embassy and the Banner Hall. It's the same thing. You got to buy stuff. Same thing. Once you get up to the Maester Tower, the resource cost for them in the 20s is high, but the 2 over here and the 2 right here are going to cost you somewhere in the ballpark of about 2 million blue diamonds if you bought every single piece with blue diamond. Now, there is events that give you some of those items that cut that cost down quite a bit. Once again, as a free-to-play player, if you're going to be, actively playing and you don't want to spend, or if you don't want to spend a lot, you have to do those events and you have to pick and choose your rewards. And some of them, like Alliance Mobilization, for example, you have to pick out those books, like the codexes or the chains that will be over here for the dungeon, because it will save you a lot of time, a lot of headache, a lot of money, and a lot of blue diamond. Either which way you bake the cake, it's going to save you some. Okay, so for our chapter 8, we have to unlock a tier 2 troop, which is the next tier up from tier 1, obviously, which is in the Maester Tower. Under military. So the elite spearman is tier 3, the veteran is tier 2. So we got to get some researches done to get there. So we're just going to do the cheap and easy ones to get over there. And you see how each of these researches give you a certain percentage. Going back to earlier when I was referring to the math. All about numbers. And it only gets worse the more you play the game. But if you're a numbers guy or a statistics guy type thing, this game will be right up your alley later down the road. Because it's all about trying to maneuver those numbers to get you every single percent of an advantage. And then once you get past the math side of things, then it becomes a strategy side of things where how can you put your opponent, if you're in a PvP situation, how can you put the opponent in a position that gives you the best chance to either survive or win the situation? And trust me when I say, even as a free-to-play player, you can put people that have a lot more money and time in the game, if you are good at that and good at the math and trying to outthink somebody, so to speak, you can put even bigger accounts into some really perilous situations if you're able to outthink and outmaneuver and know the numbers behind it. Now we have to build tier 2 troops. And because we unlocked bow, we're going to build tier 2 bow. We're going to build a couple of these so we have them. And then we'll put one on to build for future chapter. And now we got to clear stage 35. But we're going to go in here. Oh, we can't do that yet. Okay. So we're going to go back to Weirwood. We're on stage 31. We'll see what we can do here. See if we can't complete this chapter before I got to bounce to go get the truck done. Dang. Barely got through that one, but we got through it. Geesh. Skin of our teeth. Oh, come on. That was a draw. Yeah, it'll come in handy for events. Oh, I think I'm gonna lose this one. Yep. All right. Retry it. Oh, I can upgrade Robbie level. Oh, and Chris's level. Okay. That should help out. We got a blue Chris and a green Rob now. Should make them stronger. I think Merrill is just smacking Rob upside his head. Jeez. Oh, Sansa with the save. There, that should be our chapter. Be on chapter 9 yet. Chapter 9 now. All right. But I'm going to have to stop it there, guys. I have to go and take my truck in for an oil change. I'll try to get some more in later, or maybe we'll do a stream of a different game here. I just wanted to give you guys the first, like I said, couple hours of a game that's been really dear to a lot of us in the Valor's Edge group. Some of us have a lot of years in it, and was able to do a sponsor on it and try to get some new people, new eyes into the game. I just kind of wanted to give you a runaround of how a new account starts off. But thank you for watching. Thanks for the support as always. And I will catch you guys next stream. Have a good day.